Thank you so much for being here with me for another Shadow Work Sunday. And today I want to talk about grieving possibility. Something I didn't realize I was carrying until recently. Now remember to take what resonates, leave the rest, and as always, use your own discernment. And doing this on Sundays to use what I'm working through to help guide others. So again, I want to talk about grieving possibility. So something I didn't realize I was carrying until my body forced me to slow down enough to feel it. Grieving possibility, not grief over something that's already happened, but grief over an option I thought I'd have more time with. I've been dealing with some physical stuff, in my body, and while I now have a name for it and a starting plan, there's a kind of grief that came up that I didn't expect. It's not quiet, it's not subtle, and it is pretty huge. But it's the grief of realizing that a door I wasn't even really sure I wanted to walk through might not stay open the way I assumed. And that hits hard because you don't realize how much space an option takes up until it starts closing. And there was also a very real human moment where my mind went straight to blame, thinking if I had gone in sooner, if I had caught this earlier. And so I want to be honest about that too, because the thought did come up, however brief, it didn't stay. And mostly because I remembered something important, doing healing work, holding space for others, being intuitive. None of that makes you immune to being human, right? It doesn't cancel biology. It doesn't mean you're supposed to catch or prevent everything. And I'm learning that healers need help too. Receiving support doesn't mean that I failed. It doesn't take away from the work that I do. It just means that in this moment, I'm not the one carrying, I'm the one being held. So I'm letting myself grieve the possibility without rushing to decide what it means, without, forcing acceptance. I'm not jumping to silver linings either. I'm letting the grief exist without turning it into a story about my worth or my body or, my future. And so if this resonates with you, I just want you to know, grieving possibility doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're being honest with yourself. And that is shadow work, right? So an affirmation for you, for me, for us. I am allowed to grieve what might change without turning it into a judgment about myself. And a message from Spirit that came through. You are not being punished. You are not behind. And nothing sacred has been taken from you. Some doors exist to teach you that choice itself has weight. You are allowed to mourn without knowing the ending. You are allowed to receive support without losing your power. This moment is not a failure of faith or strength. It is an invitation to soften, and you are safe to do so. Thank you, Spirit. Sending you light, love, and healing, and I hope this helped.